There's protesters. I'll show you. They're right behind me over there. They're not coming this way. I'm not sure what country they're from. So this afternoon, I want to remind you Americans of something. You rich Americans, you who have jobs, you who have homes, you who have and I want to ask you to repent. Repent of all the scheming that you're doing in the background. Repent of using this woman, Melinda, in my ear telling me you're not leadership every single morning. I want to ask you to repent of sending that Haitian woman into my tent, whether it's direct or indirect, or giving her permission through the homosexual community. However you're doing it, I do not know. You're the government who has these people on an intercom. You're the government who's hiding the MacArthurs, the Haitian woman, and whoever is with her. You're the government that's hiding Jonathan Szabo, okay? And putting him on an intercom. You're the government who took my life and gave it to them, okay? Seattle did it, California did it, and now you've been doing it for what, a decade or so, right? What I set out to accomplish, somebody else has taken it from me, whether they sneaked into the bank box and took it, whether they switched me to a different culture, right? Take Kevin and put him under the LGBTQ community and put Jonathan in the church position instead. I mean, what kind of a creepy thing is that? Hire a bunch of white men that supposedly resembles the first Alan Paul or reminds you of the first Alan Paul. What kind of creepy thing is that? That doesn't make any sense to me, Americans. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. That's the reason why I come to remind you to repent and believe. What bank am I going to be able to go to now? U.S. Bank, right, had somebody go into the account when I had them. $400 was removed from my account after an encounter with somebody that looked like Bill Clinton, right? I'm not exactly sure why that happened. This was back in Seattle, Washington at what, 2000, 2002? I don't remember. I don't even remember what the encounter was. They went into the bank and took the money. I ended up having to pay them $600. When I threatened to take them to court, they gave me back my $600. Wells Fargo, I was put in jail. Why was I put in jail? John MacArthur, they charged my account $40. So there's an altercation between me and Wells Fargo. Umpqua Bank, right over there. They were going in and out of the box. Bank of America. Ever since I opened that account, they never stopped using my cards, to the point where the bank says, we're not sending you any more cards, right? All Gabriel Franklin transactions, right? And there are several other banks. How many more banks are there for a person to go to? Now Chase Bank, right? You can ask the police department what was told to me as I related it to them, right? Their workers are being told in advance. I mean, they're hiring criminals and putting them behind the desk. I don't understand this conspiracy. This, you can't, you're not allowed. You can't, you're not allowed. Well, just shoot us then, right? You don't want us to use fake 20s, but yet when it's real money, you don't want us to use the money. You don't want us to use the money to buy, what, property? You don't want us to use the money to buy trailers? If we buy trailers, you're going to take the trailer and give it to a Mexican? Then where am I supposed to live? Where am I supposed to live, Americans? You don't want me to have cars? Right? I mean, everything that I have, you're stealing, you're diminishing, you're cutting down. Stealing, diminishing, cutting down, and passing it on to another person. What am I supposed to live on? Are you waiting for me to commit suicide? Are you waiting for me to take the McNally position? What exactly are you expecting from me? Are you expecting me to slit my own wrist or to shoot my head? What exactly are you expecting? This doesn't make any sense. I mean, I can't move forward, not because I'm not trying, but because you keep slamming the door in my face when I walk through the door. You keep setting me up for a downfall. I don't understand this. I told the police department what was going to happen with Chase Bank, and what happens? The account, the whole thing, the whole transaction closes. Instead of getting support from the police, I'm getting chastised from the police, diminished from the police. I mean, I can't even get a box of food from the police. You know, I come here to get food from them, right? Their Sunshine Division. They know that I don't have anywhere to cook the food. So what do? Give me canned food, rice and beans, like a normal person living in a home. You know my situation with the Franklins. You know that I can't get a house. How are you? I mean, you ask them for perishable food on the non-emergency line, and they bring you a food box for a regular person. You know that my situation doesn't allow me to go back into housing like I used to. Why would you do that? Maliciousness. These men and women that are working in there are malicious. Okay? There's a militia in there against Haitians. Haitians can't do this. Haitians can't do that. That's wrong. Okay? You need to skip that part and keep going with your lives. You need to skip the part of being malicious. If you're going to do the job as a government, do it right. The due justice of what? Of a good government is what? But you're not a good government if you're doing these malicious things. You're holding me back. You're keeping me from, how difficult is it to go out there and buy a trailer or to buy a mobile home? Not very difficult. But if you're in the background with MacArthur and Franklin playing the role of the Queen of England, he didn't subject himself, therefore don't let him keep the mobile home. He didn't subject himself, therefore don't let him keep the house, whatever it is. I don't understand this. Why your laws? Why these Christian laws? If you're not going to respect the men and women who take this position, why give them the freedom of religion? If you're not going to respect men and women who take the Christian position and say, abstain from sexual immorality, sanctification. We want to be sanctified as a Christian church. We want to be sanctified as a Christian people. We don't want to have sex with your body. You've got syphilis, you've got gonorrhea, you've got AIDS, you've got typhoid, you've got HIV. We don't want the sex from you. Stop pursuing us for subjection. And you come out of your offices saying, if he doesn't submit, we're going to hit, we're going to hurt, we're going to give you the disease. American government, what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't understand. You're hitting me, you're beating me for not subjecting myself to a woman who's not even queen over your country. She's not your queen. The question I asked him last night was, is the president of the United States and the vice president the subject of the Queen of England? Is the government of Jamaica subjected to the Queen of England? Is the government of Australia subjected to the Queen of England? You people seem to have a monopoly under this queen. We in the church, we worship and we serve the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, who is over your queen, who is over whatever king you may have. Why am I saying these things? Because you are holding me back.